My dear friends, my holy brothers and sisters, we've made the decision after much forethought to not have services in shul this Shabbos. Many of you have seen the WhatsApp chat, the post that I posted. You'll be receiving an email shortly. It was not an easy decision, and it's a precautionary measure. It's in order, as we wrote in the letter yesterday, to flatten the curve, to slow the spread of the virus, and hopefully to ensure the safety of everybody. It's a precautionary measure, but nevertheless, it's a painful measure. It's painful. It's a time, Shabbos is a time, the Kedusha of Shabbos, the holiness of Shabbos, the spiritual connection of Shabbos, the beautiful davening and coming together as a community is so important to so many of us. We come together, we look forward to Shabbos, not just for the spirituality, but for the time, the camaraderie, the sense of being able to rest, spending time with family, with friends. We come to shul, the backslapping, the hugs, the smiles, the inspiration we give each other means so much to us. And not to be able to have it this Shabbos is truly painful. I've been in Plano here more than 10 years, and there's never been a Shabbos that I've been in Plano that I haven't been at shul with the Chevra. And to think that this Shabbos I won't have that is something that truly hurts. And I think it hurts for all of us. But it's been deemed prudent by medical professionals, by Rabbanim, that this is the approach we have to take. And again, it's a precautionary measure. And with Hashem's help, this is something that we'll get through. We will certainly get through. With Hashem's help, we'll get through it quickly as well. We will update after Shabbos in terms of minyanim midweek, as the situation is fluid and we don't know yet what Motzei Shabbos or Sunday will bring. And at that point in time, we will update you. Now's the time to be together. Now's the time to come together. And how do we do this? You know, we're in a very unique period in the Jewish calendar. We're between Purim and the Parsha of Kisisa. Purim is the time that the incredible miracle of Purim came about through the clarion call of Esther, Lech Knossos Kol HaYehudim. Gather all the Jews, bring them all together. That achdus, that unity, that coming together, that's what did it. That was the foundation of the hidden miracle of Purim that brought about such an incredible, not only salvation to the Jews, but an incredible spiritual experience that we experience to this very day. That came from the achdus, that came from the unity. And following Purim, we have Parshas Kisisa. Almost always, the Parsha read after Purim is Parshas Kisisa. In Kisisa, we read of the greatest tragedy that ever befell the Jewish nation, that we still suffer from to this very day. Moshe brings us to Mount Sinai. Moses brings us to Mount Sinai. Hashem there teaches us the Ten Commandments. God, in that epic moment of national revelation, teaches us the Ten Commandments. And after that, Moshe says, I have to go up to the top of the mountain. I have to go to Hashem. I have to go to God to learn, to be taught the entire Torah and bring down the tablets of the Ten Commandments. He says, I'll be down in 40 days. At the end of 40 days, the Jews miscalculate. They were pushed to miscalculate by the negative side, and they miscalculated, and they reached the conclusion that Moshe was not coming down. And what ensued was mass hysteria. Mass hysteria, and it brought about the sin of the golden calf, which impacts us to this very day. Here we are, Purim and Parshas Kisisa. Purim, the achdus, the unity, in the most positive, incredible way, and Parshas Kisisa, the mass hysteria. What do we have to do now? We have to find achdus in a very unique way. We have to find that unity in a way that we follow the CDC and we follow the medical precautions that were given, the protocol that were given. And I think that what we can learn from this and what we can do is as follows. It's well known that the Gemara says, the Talmud tells us, Chayiv inish l'bsumei b'puraya, ad l'yoda bein oror haman l'baruch Mordechai. A person is obligated to come inebriated on Purim to the point that they cannot distinguish between cursed as Haman and blessed as Mordechai. A shocking statement in the Talmud. The first time you study it, if you're a teenager, you're excited. If you're an adult, you're horrified. And it's certainly perplexing. What's the concept here? So some of the deep, more mystical and more Hasidic explanations of this are as follows. Purim was as we said, the miracle of Purim came about in a very bizarre way. The other miracles we've experienced, the miracle of leaving Egypt, there were the 10 plagues, there was the splitting of the sea, there are other miracles of tremendous victories of the weak against the many and overcoming that. Tremendous victories, military victories. Over here, it was a hidden miracle. There's a decree against the Jews. Before the decree against the Jews, Esther becomes queen. Who's Esther? She's a Jewish woman. The Jews are not beloved in Shushan. And yet Achashverosh selects her, not knowing that she's Jewish, selects her as the queen. She was not a young woman. The commentaries say she was an old woman at the time. Yet he selected her. She was able to hide her faith, her religion. And she also was an elderly woman, and yet miraculously she found favor in the eyes of Achashverosh, and he took her as queen. But then, that which is miraculous, Esther tries to bring back into the regular, into the mundane. There's a decree against the Jews. Mordechai sends a message to Esther to let her know about the decree. And he says, you need to go into Achashverosh, you need to go into the king right now and tell him of this and beseech on our behalf. And Esther's response is, Kol avdei hamelech, all the servants of the king, v'am medinos hamelech, and the nations of the countries of the king, yodim, they know that whoever goes into the inner chamber of the king without being called is given the death penalty. Yodea, they know. They know there's a protocol. And what's Mordechai's response? Mordechai's response is, Mi yodea im la'is kazos yigad lamalchus. Who knows? There's no das. Das means knowledge or understanding. There is no knowledge right now if this is why you became the queen. In other words, Esther, you're trying to go in the world of das. We have to go above das. We go above das, a higher realm. That's where we have to go right now. That's the message. What Haman was trying to do, explains some of the Hasidic masters, what Haman was trying to do with the lots that he cast was he was trying to reach a level above Das. Of course, in the realm of Das, of course Hashem chooses those who are connected to Torah. Of course, the Jews are picked because they're connected to Torah. But if you go above Das, where everything's the same, where we're in a realm where whatever we do makes no difference to Hashem, on a higher realm, the realm of what's called Soviv Kol Almin, on the higher, more abstract realm, there nothing makes a difference. Maybe Hashem will pick the non-Jews. Maybe Hashem will pick Haman. Maybe Hashem will pick the wicked instead of the righteous. And what we found out on Purim is that even in the highest realms, above Das, Hashem still picks the righteous. Hashem still picks Am Yisrael, the Jewish nation. And the key is the oneness of Am Yisrael. On the realm, in the realm of Das, and that which can be understood, there are distinctions. There are righteous, there are less righteous, committed, less committed. There are those engaged, not engaged. You can look at different groups. But on the level above Das, everything's the same. The holiest Jew and maybe the least connected, the least engaged Jew, on a certain level, they're all one. And that's Purim. On Purim, we go above the level of Das, which is the concept of becoming inebriated. We go to a higher level. And there in that level, Hashem chooses all of us. And perhaps the message for us now is the unity that we have to have, the achdus we have to have, cannot be this Shabbos, cannot be an achdus of all giving each other hugs and sitting around a table and talking and making l'chaims together at the Kiddush, or catching up or allowing our kids to play together in unstructured fun. That's not the achdus, but the achdus can be an achdus of above das, a higher level of the achdus, a level where we're not together physically, but what we are together is we're davening for each other. We're praying for each other. We're praying for everybody out there that's ill to have a speedy recovery. We're praying that the cure be discovered, that a vaccine be developed. We're learning Torah in our own homes, and we should learn more Torah than we would have we come to shul. And we should daven more and more intently with greater kavanah than had we come to shul. Find a quiet room in your home and daven, whether it's as a family or as an individual. Take that time and daven for others. Learn Torah for others. The greatest merit that we can do is we learn Torah. Those of us who've studied Derech Hashem together know the mystical depth of Torah study, that it goes to a level of tikkun, of repair to the world that's beyond anything that we can do just on our own. That's the power of Torah study. Let's use that. And let's think about other people. There's a wonderful video that Charlie Harari posted yesterday, and I'll try to send it out post it on the WhatsApp, an amazing video. He makes the point that when there's an unknown and people get anxious, we tend to think about ourselves, about our needs, to the exclusion of others. But he says when you can actually stop and think about others, not only are you taking care of others, it relieves your anxiety. You become living on a higher level, a elevated life, and it relieves that anxiety. Think about others. We have people in our community and beyond our community that perhaps are alone, or perhaps no one's checking in on, or they would love to get a phone call from you, or an email, or a text, or maybe a little call from one of your children. Doing that's the achdus of Lamaylam and Adas. That's the unity of above Das. That's a whole different level of unity. And that is the merit that, just like the merit of Purim, just like the merit that saved us from that terrible decree, that will help us and save us through this situation as well. The leading Torah scholar of the generation, Reb Chaim Kanievsky Shlita, wrote a letter that was publicized today saying that the merit, the things people should focus on now as a merit is not to speak Lashon Hara, not to speak negatively about other people, Lashon Hara or Rechilos, gossip, saying negative things about people, telling people what others said negatively about them. Be very careful with speech. Use your speech to bring people together, to work on humility, to be a humble person that can serve others and think of others. And in this merit of our Torah study, of our calling out to Hashem and building that bond and deepening that bond with Hashem, and the Knois Kol Yehudim, the coming together as a community on a level Lamaylam and Adas, above Das, that will be the greatest merit for us, for the entire Jewish nation, for the world. May we merit that Hashem will bring an end to this pandemic and healing and health for all. We will come together speedily as a community and come together as a nation with the coming of Mashiach in our days. Have a wonderful Shabbos. Know that we love you and we're thinking of each and every one of you, and we hope to be together real soon. If anyone has any concerns, if you have any questions, if you need any reassurance, if there's anything you want to talk about, feel free to reach out to me or any of the rabbis or rebbitzins on staff.